So you've messed up. How do I know that? Because you're human. And we're all human, so we've all messed up. So let's walk and talk and reflect on that today. A lot of people feel as if life is over now because they've done some major mess up in life. But guess what? Everybody messes up once in their life at least. If you have not messed up yet, there are higher chances that sooner or later you will mess up in your life as well. Or maybe someone very close to you has messed up or will mess up, and then you'll have to deal with that. So maybe today's conversation will help you deal with a mess up that has happened, that you are struggling with right now, or that could happen in the future. And I'm no expert on these things. I'm just your friend walking in the woods and talking to you about some common themes of life. Just an authentic conversation, heart-to-heart conversation. So that's what it is, nothing more than that. The mess up is going to come to you from one side or the other, and you must be prepared for that. But you know what? It's not like you messed up and life is over. You could have cheated on your partner. You could have been texting and driving and you hit someone. Or you have done some small mess ups, but so many of them that you live with a not very clear conscience, and it's eating from inside. This guilt is killing you from inside. And a lot of people will go as far as even thinking of committing suicide. But again, let me reiterate, we all mess up. I've messed up big time as well. And so I can relate with you. And I can tell you that there is a way out. There's always a way out. But before that, I want to say that there are some specific cases in which you will need external help. For example, you got addicted to gambling and you've squandered all your money on gambling, your money, your family's money, maybe your children's tuition fees, or the mortgage on your house. It could be a big mess up. And this kind of addiction, I've met people personally who are addicted to gambling. You need help. And it could also be addiction to some drugs that if you have done it for a long time, there are going to be physiological challenges that come if you try to quit without an expert guiding you. In that case, get all the help. If you have the desire to live, if you want to make something out of your life, then you must take as much help as you can get. And trust me, the world is not that bad. There are people willing to help you. There are people willing to go out of their way to help you, but you must have the feeling that you want to come out of your mess. That must come from within. And if you don't have any will to even make that change or take any step in this direction, I'm sorry, man. I hope that you believe in some kind of higher power. You believe in God, or you believe in a demon. I don't know. You believe in something. You believe in the magic of existence or the compassionate Mother Nature. Pray, meditate, find a way out. If you have a desire to get better, then it's your responsibility to get better for yourself, for your family, and for society, for humanity at large. All right? Now we move to the part where most of the mess up will require you to do it yourself. You will be faking the external help that you need in your life, but you don't really need any of that. You can do it all by yourself. And then it's your responsibility to do it. Let's say you're struggling with something right now, or whenever it could look like that. What are the steps you could take? I would say, first and foremost, acknowledge. Acknowledge that you've messed up. And understand it deeply, what has happened. Please do not hide behind some new age spiritual bullshit that it happened because you are not doing it anyway. Some mysterious force or the universe is making you do it. You have no control. Don't hide behind some modern psychology that you interpret in your own way and save your sorry ass. Please don't do that. I've done that. What it does is, in a short term, it might give you some solace that, okay, you know what, I have no control, it just happened. The feeling of the moment, the impulse of the moment, the desire of the moment made you do it. But at the end of the day, in the long term, it's not viable. You won't have peace in your house. You won't have peace in your family. You won't have peace in your heart. So make sure that you acknowledge what has happened and you understand it deeply, what has happened. If you don't do that, then you will go back and do the same thing again and again and again. If you don't want to repeat the same mistakes, if you don't want to keep messing up again and again, okay, maybe you will mess up in other things, but not messing up in the same thing again and again. In that case, you'll have to understand deeply what has happened. Look, there is an abstract understanding of things. There's an absolute abstract way of looking at life, right? And in that sense, you could formulate your understanding, you could philosophize life accordingly. But if you're living in a society, if your actions also affect other individuals, most probably people very close to you, people that you are attached to, or they're attached to you, and if it affects their health, their well-being, their peace of mind, then it's your responsibility to bring your understanding to the level of this earthly plane and not stay in the world of abstract. That's very important. This will all be a part of your understanding and acknowledging what has happened. So be honest, be radically honest and radically transparent with yourself first and foremost, and understand what has happened, acknowledge what has happened. Okay? And then moving forward, once you have this clarity, promise to yourself that you will never do it again. Now here you will need an immense willpower, an immense strength, because even if the understanding has arrived in your mind, there are some forces in your body that take longer to understand. That's my understanding of after several years of embodying my life, several years of understanding yoga, practicing yoga and meditation. I've learned that intellectual understanding comes fast and easy. In fact, the physical understanding, the habit. For example, if you're smoking, you might understand mentally everything about smoking, but the physical habit of picking it up and doing it might take forever to go away. Okay, it's getting hot now. So once you resolve to yourself that you will never do it again, it could actually be both easy and tough. It could be easy if you have really gained a proper understanding, and it could be some reminding again and again and again, or a lot of reminding again and again, because of the habit set in your blood, in your flesh and blood, I would say. So be patient with yourself, but do promise that you will never do it again. If you have not made this promise, if you're looking for a solution that allows you to keep doing what you did and yet not feel guilty about it, then I'm sorry, I don't have a solution like that. You can sugarcoat your truth, or your mess up, you could try whichever way, but deep in your heart, if your mind is going through a conflict, then no matter what you do, you won't have peace. And no matter how sound your philosophy is, if you don't have peace in your mind and your heart, there's no point of being philosophical, because what's the point, right? Like, what's the point at the end? What you want is to think practically enough, at least, to live calmly, to have inner peace, to live in harmony with yourself, with people around you, with nature around you. And that can happen only if you maintain some kind of understanding of the ground reality, and you're not always flying in the clouds through psychedelics or through, again, as I said, through some bullshit new age spirituality. After this, apologize to the person you have harmed or hurt, and apologize unconditionally. I'm sorry, I wish I did not do it, but I did do it. I'm sorry, there is no excuse for it. You were distant and cold for a year, and I was very stressed with work, and then this happened, and I'm sorry. No, it doesn't work like that. You take full responsibility, and if there is anyone in the world to blame, it is yourself to blame. And then you apologize, not only with your words but also with your actions. You prove that what you said, your actions are aligned with what you said. Otherwise, there is no apology. It's just an empty word, and you just go back doing the same things again and again. Apologize unconditionally. Understand that you have to align your actions with your words. In fact, you have to align your thoughts with your action and with your words. That's the Holy Trinity. It will bring you a lot of peace in life, just as a side note. Now, let's say that is also done. What is the next step? You have to forgive yourself. Before even the person you have harmed could forgive you or not, or maybe they never forgive you, but you have to forgive yourself. You have to understand that you cannot live happily in the present moment if you don't make peace with your past. You cannot live in your past while trying to also live in your present. You are not the man or the woman. It helps my linear thinking because I'm a man to say man. You're not the man you were before. You've changed. And maybe there are family members or friends or partners who keep reminding you of how horrible you've been in the past. But you have to shut all the noise and tell yourself, you have changed. And yes, we can change. So live with some pride. In fact, get to the point where you thank your previous self for bringing so much clarity and so much improvement in your personality, in your understanding of life, in your relationships with people and life in general. So to sum up, make sure you understand what has happened and acknowledge. Make sure you apologize and you mean it. And you resolve that you will never do it again. And then as you move forward and begin to improve and begin to see that it's been a while that you don't have such thoughts, you don't have such cravings, you don't have such behaviors, then begin to forgive yourself. Begin to move forward in life with pride. You cannot keep remembering what you did before. We are constantly changing. We are changing all the time. You're not the person you were yesterday. Your body is changing, your mind is changing, everything is changing, your soul remains. And let me just add one more thing in the end. This brutal honesty, this brutal transparency may end up in losing a job, losing a partner, losing a friend. But you will not lose your soul. You will still have a spine. You will walk with your spine straight and your shoulders relaxed because you'll be a proud, honest person. And that, in my opinion, is the most important thing. Eventually, you will always discover and find what you need in life. But if you lose your self-respect, if you plunge into self-pity, then it's a horrible life for you. So make sure that you own your shit. You own it, and you're not the only one. You're not alone. You're not the only one who messed up. So that's all, I guess. Let me know what you think. All the best.